to make money.
What's up, everybody? Couple of Bettors, episode 60, NFL Week 15, coming at you.
It's almost over.
It's almost over.
Not for some of us, though.
The Jets and the Bills coming off of losses. You're not used to it. I am. So when, the Jets had an 80% probability that they were going to win the game with a minute left and Miami had no timeouts and everything and we lost in overtime. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So very frustrating team. But, that's what we do.
The overhit, though.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's just get into it. Let's face it. People in the news, players, coaches, and so on.
Yes, we have a continuation of some of the stories that happened a few weeks ago. If you remember, straight from the team, the Cheats, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes both had their homes broken into on the same night because they were probably all out doing something, maybe football related, if there wasn't a lot of details. But this week, while he was playing his Monday Night Football game, Joe Burrow's house also got broken into. So clearly we've got a copycat thing going on where they're finding out when these poor players are not going to be home. Obviously, if it's on a televised game, they know exactly that they won't be home, and they're breaking into them.
Pretty messed up. Yep. Yeah, and then along with that, I think because the players are getting onto this, that there's a little bit of a copycat thing going on. Tua was asked about it, and I gotta love it. He's like, "Look, I got armed guards at my house. Okay, so I suggest that if somebody's gonna think about coming to rob me in my house while I'm not there, think twice." Okay, especially he didn't say it, but Florida,
Florida, stand your ground.
I bet it's like if somebody just like steps on your property, you could just mow them down with a machine gun in Florida. It's a little bit
like it. We never had to, but it was fun knowing you could if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we have Belichick going to the UNC. You guys can explain that better than I can.
No, I mean, look, it's surprising. I'm surprised. I hear about it. It was rumors and stuff, and then all of a sudden they announced it. I was like, holy shit, this is actually happening. But I guess it makes a lot of sense. There's history there. His dad was actually a head coach at UNC. So, kind of going back and have an ode to his dad. And he was on McAfee talking about if he was going to go to a team and coach it at the collegiate level, he would go somewhere where he knows that he could have NFL caliber athletes that he can get ready and prepared to be in the NFL. And it's also like a recruiting tool to be able to say, I know everybody in the freaking NFL. So if you think you're going to get recruited to the NFL, like I can get you there. Mm-hmm. And then also to a school that's good, that will give you good education so that will prepare you for the life after the NFL. Or if you don't make it, you'll actually have a chance to be a better person because you're part of the program. So good for him. It's going to be weird to not see him in the league and everything and to be coaching in college, but I'm sure we'll be betting some of those games, so we'll be focused on it,
Oh, yeah, maybe it'll be the easy bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Bet on UNC all the time.
Yeah, I saw there one, I think their quarterback put himself in the portal because there was no head coach, so he's like, I'll transfer.
No, he's like, give me out.
I'm out. And I thought, and then he took his name out of the portal. He's like, let's go.
Of course. Who wouldn't want to have a chance, and it's your last shot to go under Belichick because then you got to.
Absolutely.
I get it. I am also happy that he is not going to be possibly on the Jets, possibly in any,
the Giants or
anywhere.
whatever.
He's out of my life. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
And then we have, the Eagles. They still have some issues. You got Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown seem to possibly have a beef, but they don't have a beef, but they probably have a beef.
Probably.
Poor Jalen just can't seem to get along with his team, which is helpful for the playoffs because hopefully they could just tank and be out and we can get the Super Bowl that we all really want, Bills versus Lions.
Yeah. I mean, you'd probably rather play the Eagles.
Probably.
I don't know.
But, whatever.
Yeah. This is a weird one. I mean, it's like you have Brandon Graham coming out and saying that there's an issue there, which, usually you want to keep the shit internally. Mm-hmm. No, the two of AJ Brown and Jalen came out and said, this is not overblown. We're good with each other. Obviously they have to say that in public, but both of them reiterated that Brandon Graham was out of line for saying it because you got to keep that shit in the locker room. Sirianni was like, don't be saying that shit in the fucking presser. So, yep. But interesting to see what happens with this duo. Last year they were doing well, and then all of a sudden it was 10-1, and then they lost 5 out of 6 games, and nobody was happy with Jalen Hurts, right? And that was a little bit weird. So we'll see. They got a good record though, but it's behind Saquon, right? And for the fact that AJ Brown was asked what's wrong with the offense or whatever, and he said passing. That's kind of a dick move.
It is.
Yep. All right, let's see. How do we do betting last week? Look, this is weird. This is a weird one. The hit rate was very low. It's 38%, not what we want. We hit both of our locks. That's helpful. And we did a bunch of live betting. So this says I was down I had an up week. I actually felt good about it. Then when I was going through it, I was like, oh, shit. When I was betting the Bills live when they were down, winner. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I had a few live bets too, or bets that I put in after I didn't make these, but like putting in that the Lions was a loss, the Saints was a loss.
The Lions hurt me. The fact that it was
that was so right about the first 3 games just loss.
Yep.
But the Panthers, it was nice. I kept hammering them because they went from 12.5, which I got them, to plus 14. So I took that at plus 14 a couple times.
Yeah, I took them after when they got a 14. I was like, I like that. I'm going to follow you.
So good job on that lock. Josh got his lock for a good chunk. So hopefully, and of course, if we all saw the Chiefs won, but they didn't cover the spread because they never cover the spread. The Chargers did. So that was a nice little.
Yep.
We do know what we're talking about sometimes.
That's right. Good stuff. All right, look, there's a lot of injuries this week, and a lot of them are questionable ones. So just, again, we're recording this right now on a Thursday, right before the game is going to come on in about a half an hour. But just keep checking as you're betting here and just see who's in and who's out, because there's a lot of questionable ones. I mean, I don't know if we want to just highlight some of the ones. I don't want to read every single one.
Pretty sure Coleman will be in, and Kincaid. They have really just kind of been quiet about it because I think they're going to be fine.
Yep.
And they don't want the Lions really knowing. I think they're going to pull Belichick and last second put him in, but we haven't heard of any issues. I will say the Bills did not get to practice today. They had to do a Zoom meeting instead because the weather was so bad that they can't even get to the facility to practice. So.
Zoom NFL practice.
Yes. I don't know. They opted for a Zoom meeting instead. So, hopefully they get out to Detroit unscathed. I don't know when that's going to be, but as far as injuries, it seems like we're pretty good to go.
All right. Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins got a couple, that are banged up. One of the 2 things that sucks, the Commanders, this dude got hit in the kidney. And it's like they said, internal injury. They thought it was a rib, but boom, he's out for the season. Noah Brown. And then Jonathan Brooks, this one sucks for the Panthers running back. Last year, he tore his freaking ACL. And he came back the whole offseason, rehabbed back, was looking pretty good. And then the same point in the year, he freaking tears it again. So his whole year, 2 years in a row, is going to look like mostly rehab, get back on the field. So you can't feel good about that. I mean,
he's also on the Panthers. That's not helpful.
Well, I know. Yeah, it sucks. But a couple other ones, Kamara obviously is one to keep an eye out on, CD Lamb. So keep an eye on the injuries, guys. All right, I guess we'll just get right into the games. First one we're not even going to talk about. It's the Rams-Niners game. We're both betting the Rams. We're saying that now just so we can hopefully. I said this last week about the Lions game, and I lost 4 units. But we'll just move it on to the actual game that you could bet that we're talking about. Commanders, Saints, and we're not betting it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning on this Commanders. They're coming off a bye. They're the better team. The Saints without Kamara is nobody. I may actually end up throwing money on this. I am a little slightly concerned by that spread for the Commanders. That's a heavy spread for them. So that's why I'm leaning. But, you see Kamara's not playing for the Saints. They haven't looked good with Kamara. The Commanders have been fighting. They've had some close games. They've hung in there with some teams. They were really good in the beginning. They've kind of fallen behind, but that's where I'm a little concerned is that 7.5 spread. But
yeah,
definitely if you're going anywhere, I would take the Commanders on this.
Put up 11 points on the Giants. That's what the Saints did last week.
Yeah. I mean,
they missed a field goal to go into overtime. I couldn't even believe it. I considered it done. It was an overtime game.
It was supposed to be a good, easy bet, and they were not even ridiculous. So anyway, there's that. Like I said, I might even throw money back on the Commanders later.
Yeah, I get it.
Sounds so good.
I get it. I mean, maybe you buy the hook down to the 7 points and get a push if you know.
Yeah.
Okay. The Chiefs versus the Browns.
Chiefs.
I knew you were going to say it, so I was going to say their actual name.
No.
The 12-1 team. Yeah, look, this one's going to be in a little bit of rain here.
Yeah, I mean, this is one where they should win and they should cover. It's the Browns. I mean, Jameis maybe has this magical game at home that would impress us all, but most likely not the case. That's why we're leaning on this and not even taking it. Hope the Chiefs lose, but they don't, and they should actually cover this spread. So.
Yeah, I'd love it. I'm watching if you guys aren't watching it, but the in-season Hard Knocks with the AFC North. You got to love Jameis, and it would be nice. Like I think it was 27-14 or something that the Steelers won last week, so they didn't get that done. But if the Browns could pull one out here, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Ooh, this one, Ravens versus Giants. As soon as I saw the spread, I yelled across the apartment, Christine, what do you think the spread would be for the Ravens versus the Giants?
It was a little off.
Oh, yeah, but you knew it was going to be a big number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Ravens going to the Meadowlands, just they should dominate, but the 16 and a half.
So many points.
It's so many points, and you get these weird ass games where like the Giants are the home underdog by a lot. Are they going to pull a Panthers move against the Eagles where they're just going to come out of nowhere and like keep it close? Probably not.
I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, probably not, but still terrified to take the Ravens. I would also be thrilled if the Ravens look like shit this week, you know. So I guess I'm just going to lean off and take little glimpses at that game while it's on and see what's going on.
Yeah, my first instinct right now, which we didn't talk about, but I am almost thinking, what's the first half spread? Because if it's like 9.5 for the Ravens, if it's anything under 10, you might want to go that, because then in the second half maybe they just give it to Henry. We saw you see his new haircut.
No,
he got a new haircut.
No thingy.
No,
tail.
Yeah, he's got nothing. No, like the dreads are very short, so you can't even see him in his uniform. People are like freaked out when he went to practice. No, it's not the same. We're watching Derrick Henry with the hair for freaking forever.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Do I think that they're gonna? This is rough. It's a rough one. I feel bad for Giants fans to know that the spread's 16.5. The most embarrassing spread of the season is this game.
The Giants fans, I feel bad for the Giants players. They have to go out and play this game knowing that they're slated to lose by at least 16.5 points. It gets hard to do that after week after week. Like, let's go and not win this one because we're terrible. And I don't know. You got to feel bad for the Giants players.
I agree.
Maybe their paychecks make it up, but I don't know. All right, then we have the Bengals at the Titans. Going to be a little rainy here, which might affect things, but we're both still going with the Bengals at -5. Titans just barely kept up with the Jaguars, which was ridiculous.
11-6.
And it's
something like
it was the worst game. It was over very early, which was, the world was grateful for, but I don't know.
Not early in the game. She's talking about it was over early. The game ended. The time was early.
The other games had like another 22 minutes.
It's like 3:45 or something.
Still to go.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're taking the Bengals on this one. The Bengals you still have Joe Burrow. He looks good. Yeah. His team is just failing him. But they are able to keep in with a lot of good teams. They're just not pulling out wins. So this one should be an easy -5 spread to cover.
Yeah. The Bengals, they're putting up 27 to 40 points in the last 4 or 5 games. So they're hot on offense. Defensively, They let up 20 to the Cowboys. That got a little sketchy there, but they did cover last week. I'm on this one, though. You got to figure that, the Bengals going to be able to pull this one out. All right, Dolphins at the Texans. You're on it.
I'm on the Texans.
That's not an unreasonable bet. I mean, I'm just,
Listen, the Texans are coming off a bye week. I'm a big fan of bye weeks. The Dolphins, to me personally, they did beat the Jets, but they weren't impressive. I thought the Jets actually looked more impressive than the Dolphins did. And I also just don't want the Dolphins to win because I just rather just dominates the
the AFC East.
The AFC. So I'm taking the Texans -3. Listen, -3 at home off of bye week is definitely doable.
Totally.
But I don't, suggest a lot of people follow me on this one.
Yeah, I would lean on the over on this one just because I think that the Dolphins, their offense looks pretty good. They end up putting up 30 points And if you just look back, that's what they've been doing that with Tua. Without Tua, forget it.
Right.
And then, the Texans off a bye, you got to figure so this one might be a little bit of a shootout, So it's a high 46.5, but I do think they probably could get to that, in the 50s. Ooh, this is your...
Yes, folks, that's right. I am taking the Jets as my lock of the week. Oh, they're probably going to fail me, but
no.
I mean, it's against the Jaguars, and it's the Jags with why am I losing his name? Mac Jones, ex-Patriots quarterback, just god awful. No, like we're not. If you guys can't pull out a 4-point win on this team at the minimum, I just stay home and don't do any more games for the rest of the year. Forfeit them all or do something because this is going to be bad. So it's my lock of the week. The Jets have to show up here. Like I said, the Jets look better than the Dolphins did, in my opinion, last week. I was watching because I had the over, so I was actually paying attention for a change. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just talking all kinds of crap. Like there's got to be a curse or something. Like he's still not taking any responsibility. He's got to do well, like dominate on this one, or he's going to have a lot of explaining to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Although, it's like you're watching the last two games, the Jets against the Seahawks. They're pretty much coming out first couple quarters, dominating them. Dolphins also, and then just letting them sneak back in, and all of a sudden they're losing these games. It's like 3-10 record. I mean, it could easily be 10-win season. Just I don't know. Whatever.
It's against the Jags. This would never. Yeah. The Jets would never be a lock if this was against probably all of the other teams, because even the Panthers are
they're coming back.
They're coming back. So this one I'm taking as my lock because, God, for your souls, you better they better win. So anyway, let's go Jets.
Yeah. They have enough offensive weapons. We all know it. I mean, the team is stacked, and they're just not performing, not putting any the tape on. So.
Enjoy this game, Jets fans. It should be one of the few that will be hopefully interesting.
Just go out there and put up 40, Mm-hmm. All right, now we got the Cowboys going to the Panthers, and the Panthers have been playing well with teams, right? Mm-hmm. So the last 3 games, they're coming off of a close game with the Chiefs, close one with the Bucks, close one with the Eagles, all one-score games with really, top
The Eagles,
tiers.
people, the Eagles.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm on them on this one with the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are playing that well. A couple losses here. So I'm going to go with the Panthers here and see if they can get one at home here with a -2.5 only at home. I feel like if you just took those last 3 games in a vacuum and you didn't look at the 3-10 record and you said, is this the team that should be, what's the spread should be? It would be probably by 5.5. But they got to get those W's just like the Jets have to also. You got to actually get the win. And
Makes me slightly nervous.
About who?
The Panthers covering that spread against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, there was this weird blocked punt at the end of the game versus the Bengals. They would have had a potential to tie that game up. So it's like, you got to figure that the Cowboys are a little bit better, but it's still Cooper Rush and stuff. And, as long as, Bryce Young can get away from Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all on Bryce Young this
exactly.
time. He's getting better.
Yeah, he is. All right. Bucks at the Chargers. This is it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a tough one to pick. I mean, we're both leaning on the Chargers for a reason because we're really not sure. Like, what kind of Baker Mayfield are you going to get?
Yeah.
And what kind of Justin Herbert are you going to get?
Baker beat they just came off a win against the Raiders. Like,
that's not impressive. Yeah.
But the Chargers and Chiefs, that was a good game, but they lost. You just think you're probably going to end up snapping back at home here as the Chargers and getting it. If not, 8-6, you got to start worrying. The Bucks, I always just think that they're like fine, but their division always sucks. And
they're fine, but sometimes they come out and they're like, you're like, holy shit! Like, who is this team? And this could be one of those games. It's nice weather either way, So like, I don't know. That's why I'm just staying away. But it'll be interesting to see the outcome. We probably won't watch it, but
no, exactly, we won't.
Glance at here and there.
All right, this is my lock of the week. Steelers at the Eagles. This is a Pennsylvania war, okay? I'm going with the Steelers on this one. I just think there's a couple things going on. Saquon and the Eagles have an amazing rushing offense. Okay, that is true. Their passing offense kind of sucks. We talked about it earlier that A.J. Brown mad at Jalen Hurts because of the passing game and so on. They're not that good, but they're winning games behind Saquon. The Steelers have a good matchup here. Steelers' defensive front is a top 5 rushing defense, right? So if you could hold Saquon just even a little bit and force the Eagles to have to throw the ball, I think that actually gives a little bit of the favor to the Steelers who, they have TJ Watt and they have Cam Hayward and all these guys are going to be putting that pressure in up front. You could get to Jalen Hurts, then it's actually going to be favorable for you. And then, look, offensively, I'm hoping that George Pickens is playing. He's questionable right now. But if he's on the field, the Steelers are going to put up points. And I think that the 5 points are a little bit disrespectful for a Steelers team that has 10 wins.
I completely agree. And again, I might put money on this one too, just because I get it. The Eagles scare me a little bit. When it's important, and this is an important game for both teams, they kind of show up. But they do have some drama going on, and like I said, it's kind of they're relying a lot on Saquon. If with the Steelers' good defense, if they can stop Saquon, they'll have nothing. So, it's an iffy one. But I don't know. You're right. You have a good reasons for taking the Steelers. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know this is a game that I want to watch, and it's a good game. So
definitely a good game.
What's not a good game is this game.
Patriots at the Cardinals. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody cares. I would lean on the Cardinals in this one if I did care, but I don't. Cardinals are at home. They're a better team than the Patriots. They should win by 7 points. There's that. I don't want to waste my time on it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think that the Patriots I think they should move on from their coach. They do have a promising quarterback. That's a good thing. But yeah, this is a game I want to stay away from just because they're both kind of shit. All right. Well, we got the Colts versus the Broncos. This is one I'm taking. I'm taking the Broncos minus the 4 points here. I really don't think the Colts are good, and it's something that, I've thought the whole year about them. And I think that the Broncos have kind of been rolling here. And Sean Payton has them going. Bo Nix is doing a really good job. They have a good defense. So, they're really well-rounded here. And I think at home with the 4 points, they should be able to win this one by 10. So I'm going with the Broncos.
Oh, I agree. But Broncos have been very impressive. Bo Nix especially. And I agree with you. This is the Saturday later game, and I will be focused on one.
Saturday.
Sunday. Just like the rest of the world will be watching the preview of the future Super Bowl.
And that's what we're talking about next. The Buffalo Bills going to the Detroit Lions.
Hopefully they could get there.
Right.
'Tis the season, folks. We're going to Buffalo on Christmas Day, and all we keep talking about is hopefully we could get there.
Yep.
And hopefully we can leave on time to get back home. Either way, we may be stuck somewhere. Bills at Lions. Ooh, I am scared to death for this game.
Scary.
But there are some the Lions are a scary, very good, disciplined team. However, they do have their issues in some areas, and I guess especially when it comes to a team like the Buffalo Bills. I mean, y'all watched that Rams game. It was probably one of the better games to watch.
It's amazing.
Not for a Bills fan because we didn't end up winning in the end, but for the rest of the world, just back and forth, crazy, awesome playing. Well, that's probably going to be the situation for this, and I think that's why you'll get into the over, taking the over. But right now, the Lions are kind of behind with their pass defense, and they're only 19th in sacks, which is going to allow the Bills some access in there just because we're really good with the pass. It's possible that the Bills could be up 10 points on the Lions when the game is all over. So taking them at plus 2.5, getting 2.5 points might be the move here. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm terrified, but I'm happy for the world that we get to watch the game that we want to watch, the movie that we've been waiting for, the preview to Super Bowl of this year.
Yeah. Look, shout out to Monkey. He's got money that this will be the Super Bowl, so you could actually bet who we're going to be in the Super Bowl. This is going to be a fun one. Like she said, the secondary for the Lions is not that great, which is interesting because they're coached by Aaron Glenn. There's a defensive coordinator who was a cornerback for his career, so he played in the secondary, and they have a bad secondary. But with Kincaid back and with Coleman back, and the Buffalo putting up 42 points last week, you got to imagine that they're going to be able to put up 30 plus on the Lions. And to be honest with you, the Lions are a really well-balanced offense, and I feel like, Buffalo, unfortunately, this is the downside, is that they've been known to give up some gash run plays and some stuff and let up some points. I mean, letting up 44 last week is ridiculous. So I think that the Lions' best offense, they're going to put up points. This game, could end up being, a similar thing where it's 40-something or 40-something or 30-something to 30-something. I mean, if it's remotely close to that, you're hitting the 54.5 over. And 54.5 is a high total, but what do you think? One of these guys is going to put up 17? I don't. I don't see them. I don't see either of them putting up less than 24 points. And so you got to go and figure that this one's going to be over the 54.5. So I'm taking it, and I'm excited to watch it. It's going to be a fun one. People like offense. That's what they want. They got offense.
Go Bills. Come on. Please win. This will be so great. So great. We can go into the playoffs, go into the Super Bowl just knowing we beat them once. We can do it again.
Hell yeah.
Come on, Bills. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Guess we have to move on.
We got to move on. Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers at the Seattle Seahawks. And guess what? In Seattle, it's going to be raining? Well, it will be.
That's fine. That makes sense. But the Packers know how to play in shit weather, just like as well as the Seahawks do. Packers are the better team here. They've gotten a longer break this week
because of that previous Thursday night game.
Yeah, so it's nice little couple extra days. I just think Jordan Love is the one for this game, and -2.5 is going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean they should be able to beat them here. I think they're the better team. I know it's on the road, but the Seahawks have not impressed me that much this year, and I just think that the Packers are solid across the board. So taking them on that game.
Yeah, the Packers are a threat. Seahawks are not.
Yep. And then there's 2 Monday Night Football games this week, folks. They're back at it. They did it the first few weeks of the year, and then all of a sudden they're back at it. I don't really get it, what the hell they're doing, but Bears at the Vikings.
Yes, we were blessed with the Bears at the Vikings. Well, when you see the second game, you're going to understand why I'm putting money on this one because, I want to watch one, but not both. The Bears are trash, and the Vikings are great. And -7 spread, I think, is not a problem. So I'm definitely taking the Vikings here. And that's all you need to say. The Bears are trash, unfortunately.
Yeah, Darnold put up 5 passing touchdowns last week. Solid. And the Bears let up 38 points. So put those together. The Bears defense let up 38. Darnold, 5 touchdown passes. Can you stop Jordan Jefferson and Addison? Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Both of those guys together, they're ridiculous.
Yeah. No, this should be another lock. This is lock number 2.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 locks this week, but
I might join this one to the extent depends on how I do betting the rest of the weekend. Obviously, saving a few dollars for the Monday fire away. Well, we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, here's the next game that you don't need to put any money on: Falcons at the Raiders. Now, if I were forced to bet this game, I would take the Falcons because the Raiders are terrible, but they also lost Aiden O'Connell last game. He had to get carted off, so you don't even have him anymore. Now, I know Kirk Cousins is having some issues there, but, I think they should be the better team in this case, but you can't tell, and who cares?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons, I thought last week would look a little bit better. They put up 21 against the Vikings, but it was 42-21. Defense did not look good. Yeah, Cousins have been throwing a bunch of picks. I mean, but the Raiders are not good. They put up 13 points. I think that it's going to be a rough one. So you won't be watching it, so it won't matter.
Yeah.
All right, let's just roll through real quickly. What are we betting? What are we actually betting? Yes. Do you want to just roll through those first?
So we have the Rams, which is probably on TV right now as we speak, +3 versus 49ers. Hopefully that'll hit tonight. But then we're both on the Bengals, -5 versus the Titans. And then I have the Texans, -3 versus the Dolphins. It's kind of a scary one, but I'm taking it. And then we have my lock of the week, The Jets. Yes, people, I said the Jets are my lock of the week. Josh is also on them, obviously, because they're versus the Jaguars, and they better win by at least 4 points.
Yep. And then I'm on the Panthers, minus a 2.5 against the Cowboys. I think they're finally going to get a W here in one of those close games. I think it will be close, but I think they'll be able to win by 3. Then my lock of the week is going to be the Steelers in a tough Pennsylvania battle against the Eagles. Hopefully they can slow Saquon down and put some points up and cover that +5. Then I'm on the Broncos, minus the 4 points against the Colts. I think they're just a superior team, better coach team.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, of course. You gotta love it. And Sean Payton really is what I think is the difference there. Then I'm on the Bills-Lions over. She would take the Bills
Absolutely.
anyway, plus points. Whenever the Bills are plus points, you got to love that. But I'm going to go with the over 54.5. It's kind of like a Bills bet, too. If they're winning the game, they're probably putting up 40, which means that over is going to hit. So
That'd be sick. All right. Then we're both on the Packers, minus 2.5 versus the Seahawks. Again, as like he said about the Broncos, the Packers are the superior team here for sure. Similar weathers, so weather shouldn't affect either team. And I think they'll be just fine. Mm-hmm. And then I'm finishing off with the Vikings, -7 versus the Bears. Easy win. Probably my lock number 2 because the Bears are not good and the Vikings are awesome.
that's a fact. Well, look, we just rolled right through those. Pretty quick one here, but we hope to have another fun weekend of watching football. We got the holidays approaching, some things going on there, so it's gonna, how this end of the year goes. It flies by, but at least wherever we're having fun, we'll be watching some football. So that's a good thing.
Both our teams will probably win.
And we're
hopefully.
hoping, it's a weird point in the season where I don't even know if we want to win or not, but I kind of do. I just always want to win. That's how I want to win.
Playing the Jags, you can't lose. That's just embarrassing.
Yep. All right, everybody. Have fun out there. If you're doing any holiday parties, have an extra drink, bet some extra money, right? Isn't that what the holidays are all about? I think so.
Betting extra money?
Yeah, betting the gift, because you got to make the money back from the gifts that you're spending the money on the gifts. You got to equate
the season where you don't have money to just throw away on bets. That's what happens.
Yep. All right. Good luck, everybody. We will see you soon. Bye.
Go Bills! Go Bills! Woo!
Couple of bettors.
I want to make money.